raise children and be like someone that really can make a difference in our society. He expects the wife to pay rent because his mother did.
The Ladies Awareness Day, 12th May 2012. This day was organized by the Victory Youth Group to help create awareness among the ladies of the UCKG about their health. The theme of this event was Care for Women's Health Empowerment and Gender Equity. In this event, professionals were invited to help give advice on different issues that concern the health of ladies. Among the professionals were doctors, pastors' wives, and a representative from VYG Uganda. The event started at midday with an opening prayer from the youth pastor, Pastor James Mbalire, and all the VYG members from all the branches of UCKG came to attend this event at the UCKG Synagogue of the Holy Spirit on plot 8 to 12 George Street, Nakasero. There was great entertainment from VYG. Every branch displayed their talents through different kinds of dance. MCs who conducted the day did some awesome job. This wonderful event left youth smiling, not only because of the activities, but also the speeches in addition that were put up on that day from different sectors, namely the health sector, the law firm, the spiritual counselors. Dr. Mesh, representing the health sector, analyzed issues concerning health and reproduction.
Sexually transmitted infections, which you know the modes of transmission, you can get them from your behavior, that is sexually. Behavior can also mean the hygiene, personal hygiene, and also include choices of, there are problems like cervical cancer, which is very prevalent nowadays. You make sure that you exhaust the questions about cervical cancer because it's now a very prevalent issue. It, contrary to popular belief, it is a special cancer because it's viral in nature. You can actually get it from having promiscuous sexual behavior because it's a virus that is transmitted sexually.
He went ahead and answered questions that were disturbing the ladies in their health.
I'm from Lago. I'm asking, are there symptoms for me to find out that maybe I have that cancer?
The problem with this cervical cancer is that the symptoms manifest when it's a little too late. In the later stages of cervical cancer, you may get pain, lower abdominal pain. You may get pelvic bleeding, that's called vaginal bleeding.
Nowadays, young girls, like for 20 years, are suffering from uterine fibroids. What causes them?
The fibroid is a growth that may not necessarily be malignant or cancerous on the uterine walls, the walls of the uterus. Most of these fibroids are caused by abnormal hormone levels in the system. Why we are getting this problem nowadays so often is that I personally blame it on the time we spend probably in school or seeking for careers. And that ladies or girls take long to conceive. And that means that they have a hormonal imbalance at a certain stage of life when they're supposed to have what? Ready.
Madame Nivalda Santana, the pastor's wife, who led the group of spiritual counselors, talked to the ladies about the true beauty of a woman.
And also, the true beauty sometimes, or most of the time, is not take outward appearance. Your clothes, the clothes that you wear, how you put your hair, the shoes, or not to be on fashion. Even the fashion nowadays is becoming itchy. It's bad, very bad. Because women are trying to show much more themselves. They think they are at the point, at the top, when they are doing this. But in fact, they're not bringing any, nothing good for them, in my point of view. And also, I'm sure that those who are following this great fashion, they are not feeling even well with themselves, inside themselves. So the true build is the build that comes from inside of you. And I can even tell you that someone can really get sick and in trouble when this person is not good inside. Let's say that you have grudge inside your heart. You hate someone. So this is something that is inside of you. And automatically it's passing out for other people who are looking at you. Because you're not having that nice face, that smiling face, that is so nice to see one lady, one girl. Okay? So we start from this.
She emphasized about the inner beauty of a woman, whereby ladies were advised not to keep grudges and hatred.
Yourself and look at the beauty that is inside of you. Don't keep it grudges inside of you, because this can give you a spiritual sickness, but also physical sickness. We have heard of people that really can get terrible disease, they can get depressed when they keep this kind of grudge, bad feelings inside.
She also advised them to avoid friends who put you down, to mind about their spiritual cleanness, and more so to value themselves as God's best creature. Harriet Nabankema, courtesy of VYG Uganda, she analyzed the rights and choices of a woman.
That we have rights as women. We are not that we are special from, we are any different from the men. We all have human rights, but for certain reasons, because of the delicacy of women, women have specific rights assigned to them. It is inherent. Nobody can take it away. When we talk about rights of women, they are really broad. Women have sexual and reproductive health rights, while men do have them too. We realize we've come a long way, and for quite some time, men have been neglected. When we talk about right to sex, it is broadened to I have a right to choose who to have sex with. It's kind of, the interpretation has been, does it have to be him or her? And because it is a right, we have responsibilities too, to put in place as we enjoy these rights. The .com generation, the generation of today, the youths are very naive.
She went ahead and talked about gender, which refers to social construction roles assigned to men and women by the society.
Everybody has heard about the word gender. Quite a number of times, if I'm to pick on to an individual to explain to me what gender means, I expect responses like, women being equal to men. Can men go to the labor ward? These are the kind of questions that came in our minds every other time. Gender refers to social construction roles assigned to men and women. Socially constructed. Socially constructed would mean women in Uganda can kneel. Yet when we go to Toro, the context is different. Ideally, it means that kneeling has nothing to do with whether you're a woman or a man. When we look at gender clearly, it is really what culture has dictated. It comes from the biology of a man and woman. Women have very unique characteristics.
In spite of the fact that a woman has decided to get out of the cave, Harriet said due to the character of a woman, the society has decided to put her down, despise her, and put the man on a higher level.
Society has set a man high as head of the family. Society has put the woman down to attend to very, very simple things of looking after children. Then the man to meet the monetary needs of a home. Because the context is changing over the time, women are taking over roles that belong to men.
Pastor James Mbalire, the youth pastor, he revealed a secret to the youth, which was obedience, in order for them to succeed in their lives. Pastor James went on advising ladies to be more obedient in all aspects of their lives, thus to God, their parents, elders, husbands, and all sorts of authority put before them. In conclusion, we believe that all the ladies and youths in general who gave their attention during the event learned a lot, ranging from spiritual, health, and social lives.